first of all, what have preparations been like this week? Not ideal, I imagine.
Well, training's been very good. We've obviously had quite a few players had to withdraw from the squad. But we're used to dealing with that. It's never straightforward, and we've just got on with it. I don't think anybody here would have felt anything unusual in the way we've prepared. Been really happy with the level of training and the attitude of the players, and we're looking forward to the game tomorrow.
What is the latest as far as Mason Mount and Luke Shaw are concerned? Do you still think there's a chance they may be involved, for instance, in the game against San Marino?
Well, I've got to check in with our medical staff for today's update. Obviously, the longer it goes, the less likely that is. Different situations, really. Mason's got to recover from this dental surgery. Luke there's obviously very strict guidelines on concussion markers, and I know the early part of the week the first day he didn't pass the marker, so that all gets shifted back. So rightly, we've got to follow the guidelines on that. We might run out of time. We'll just have to see.
As far as Jack Grealish is concerned, what was the issue with him? And is he 100% fit to start if he's selected tomorrow?
Well, he's had some illness and he did miss training. So he's trained this morning with the rest of the group. We've got, again, we've had a lot of medical issues this week. So just trying to remember who's had what and when. But he's available for the game and, he's ready if required.
Can I just bring Harry in now? Harry, you obviously need 4 points from these 2 games. Albania are in very good form at the moment. How tough is this going to be tomorrow night? And what approach do you think you should take? Is it a game you have to win, or is it a game where a draw will be enough?
I think it's a game that we definitely want to win. Obviously, like you said there, we need 4 points to qualify. So the sooner you can get 3 on the board, the better. So, we expect a really tough game. Obviously, Albania still have a chance to qualify for a World Cup. And we know that they'll bring a lot of energy, a lot of passion to the game. So we've got to make sure that we match that. And obviously, we feel on the ball and with our ability, we have more than enough to win the game. But for sure, it'll be a tough battle. So, we want to win. We want to make sure we win this game, and that puts us in a great position for the San Marino one. But of course, we know there's a lot of hard work, and we'll be ready for the challenge.
Obviously, every time you play, whether it's for your club or country, there is so much focus on you. I mean, how are you personally feeling at the moment? A lot of people are assuming that maybe what happened in the summer has affected you and has affected your form. Is a new manager coming in, for instance, at your club, a chance for you to make a fresh start, a clean slate?
Well, I think from my point of view, I think it's easy for people to try and look for an excuse when maybe you're not on form or you're not scoring as many as you usually do. And that's where it's important, kind of my own self-belief, my own mentality is just to work harder. And just that's always been my approach, whether I'm doing really well or the goals ain't quite coming. It's just to work hard, train hard, work hard for the team. And that's what I've done my whole career. Obviously, there's not been many spells, for example, for club not scoring as many as I've scored so far this year. But in terms of an England calendar year, it's been a great year for me personally, and I hope to continue that tomorrow night.
Also, just wanted to ask you as well about this scoring record that you've got. Obviously, you've scored 41 goals for England. What does it feel like for you when you are rested for some of the games, for instance, against Andorra or San Marino? Is that a difficult conversation you have with Gareth? How do you take that news, and how do you feel when you're watching the games from the touchline and you're not involved?
No, look, I'm the type of player, and the gaffer knows this, that obviously I want to try and play every minute of every game, not just for myself, just to try and obviously help the team and play as long as possible. But yeah, there's discussions that we have. Obviously, times where the team needs to be rotated, times where there might be a huge number of games and you've played a lot of games and you might need to rest one. So from my point of view as a player, I'd always be ready. I'd always be there knocking on the door, wanting to play. But of course, I always respect the manager's decision. And if I'm on the bench, for example, I'll be ready to come on and try and make an impact from the bench.
And Gareth, just looking at this Albania side, I know that after the game against Hungary at Wembley, you said that maybe your players had sort of underestimated the opposition a little bit. How do you make sure that doesn't happen again against Albania tomorrow night?
No, I don't remember saying that we underestimated them. I think Hungary came and defended really well, and we didn't play at the level that we have hit for certainly this calendar year. So we've had a good focus this week on making sure that we're on the front foot in the game, making sure that our pressing is better than it was that night, and also making sure that we're sharp with the ball and move the ball quickly, because these teams are well organised. You've got to break down a packed defence, and our quality has got to come to the fore. So, but also if you can win the ball higher up the pitch, then you can catch them when they're perhaps a little bit disorganised. So they're things we've had a good training week to focus on.
Can I also just ask you how Emile Smith Rowe has settled into the camp? What have you made of the way he's been training? And is there a realistic chance of him featuring at all in the next 2 games, or is he somebody that you just wanted to have a look at, maybe somebody for the future?
No, I think we've brought him here to be involved with the team and with a view to being involved in the 2 matches. So he's settled really well. I think he obviously knows a couple of his club teammates, Phil from when he was in the under-17s as well. And this is a group that make young players and new players very welcome. So I don't think it's a difficult environment to fit in. His quality has been apparent in the way that he's trained. So he's ready, and we've enjoyed having him with us this week already.
The final one from me, just on the news that Steven Gerrard has become the manager of Aston Villa. Obviously, as a former Villa captain yourself, I just wanted to find out what your reaction was to that news. And was he always somebody who you knew would end up one day being a manager in the Premier League at the very top level?
Well, firstly, I was very disappointed for Dean Smith. He's done a brilliant job at Aston Villa, and he's an excellent manager. So I wish him well. It's nice to see another English manager in the Premier League as well. And with Eddie going to Newcastle, two English managers appointed this week. Stephen's always had fantastic leadership qualities. I was probably a more senior player. I'd have been 30 when he first came into the England squad, and around Euro 2000. He was always a talent, but he always had great drive. We know the number of games that he's led for club and country where he made the difference in really important moments. So he's had a fabulous start to his managerial career. He leaves one massive football club to join another. And I'm sure it's a challenge that he's looking forward to. It's a great opportunity for him. And a chance to test himself in a league where every week there's a different sort of challenge and a high level challenge. And of course, first thing to stabilise the club, but it's a fabulous football club.
Thank you, Garvey. Next we'll go to Kerry Brown of beIN Sports.
Try again. Hello, Gareth. Gareth, I remember when Phil Foden got injured for the final of the Euros, and there wasn't quite the furore as we would have expected for losing Wayne Rooney, losing a David Beckham because of the depth of this squad. But you've lost Luke Shaw, who actually set up Harry Kane for the opening goal in this reverse fixture. Mason Mount got the second in a 2-0 victory. And you know, you're losing more players. How difficult has it been, and how much has those greater squad numbers during the Euros made it a little easier in terms of knowing the players you have to bring in?
Well, I think we've always worked on a basis that we want a strong squad and we need a strong squad, because throughout any qualification campaign or tournament, you're going to have injuries, and we can't be overly reliant on individual players. Of course, very difficult for us to replace the goals that Harry or Raheem in particular have scored. But we have depth, and we have players who've been waiting for opportunities to play. And we've given people matches, but of course, everybody wants to play all the time. And so it's a great opportunity for other lads to get into the team and take their chance.
Talking of which, looking to Jordan Henderson, Jude Bellingham, how have they been training? How much do you take from what you know of them historically, or from what you've seen in them in training this week?
Well, a bit of everything. You want to make sure that players are physically in good condition and that they're looking sharp in training. But of course, there's knowing the way that we want to play, the right profiles for the team, the right balance for the team. All of those things come into consideration. So, but we've got a squad where we're happy. Whoever we put on the pitch, it's a difficult decision to make, but whoever we put into the game is more than capable of not only playing at this level, but having a big impact at this level.
And Harry, a question to you. Taking you back to the reverse fixture of this, it was quite a war of attrition in front of goal. You had, I think, 69 to 71% possession throughout most of it, and you were all peppering the goal, but they are an attritional physical side. You all kept your cool. You were very patient. You opened the scoring in the 37th minute, but the pressure is going to be on to get that point. They're quick on the break. How important is it that you don't put too much pressure on yourselves to get a goal early, that you're patient and that you don't get too hot-headed, because they won't let you come at that goal easy?
No, absolutely. Like I said, they defended really well in that fixture. It was tough to break them down, but obviously that's stuff we've been working on this week about movement and definitely being better on the ball than what we were in our last game. So yeah, I mean, look, we've played in a lot of big games. We've played in a lot of high pressure situations as a team and as individuals for club. And yeah, it's about dealing with those moments. You know, we have a very cool-headed team. We know we probably have the majority of possession, so it's just about moving it quick, getting into the right positions, making sure yeah, we don't lose our shape. And yeah, obviously we have players who can impact the game and score goals in the vital moments. So yeah, like we said, it'd be a very tough game, but we know we're more than capable of winning it. We just have to get it right.
Are you all feeling the pressure of getting a result in this match, considering where you are in the group? And in the reverse fixture of this, you're absolutely flying, and it's gone away from you in really small moments. Is it that attention to detail? You all looking back a bit, saying we're not sure why we're here now?
Yeah, well, I mean, we've won 6 and drawn 2, so we still had a great campaign so far. So yeah, look, you're playing against tough opposition in the group, whether it's Poland, Albania, Hungary. Very difficult teams, especially away from home. So of course this one's at home, so we'll be on the front foot and we'll be expected to win. But yeah, look, we just got to go there with the mindset we've had all along, that we're trying to qualify for one of the biggest competitions in the world. So that's what we're trying to do, and we know 3 points will go a long way to doing that.
Thank you, Kerry. Okay, next we'll take a question from our visitors tomorrow night. We'll go to Pano of Albanian Radio and Television, RTSH. There, Pano?
Hello. Hello. One question for the mister. How do you know Albanian team? And is there any player, as any special player that you are aware from Albania?
Yeah, we're obviously very aware of the team from not only our game there, but also all of the matches in the group, which we've watched closely. So very well organised team. The coach has done an excellent job. Quite familiar patterns of play. And of course, across a qualifying group, quite a few changes within the team as well. So we never focus too much on individual players. We're always talking about the patterns and the collective way of playing. That doesn't matter if we're playing any other nation. Maybe you have a particular player who favours a particular foot that you go into a bit more detail on, or a particular attribute that needs watching from a defensive aspect, or something we can exploit defensively. But we prepare the same way for every game that we play, and I think we always have that respect for the opposition.
Thank you. And something for Harry. It's difficult to play against defenders that play in Serie A. We have 3 defenders that all 3 play in Serie A.
Yeah, no, obviously, like we said there, we always look at the opposition and see what they do. And we know they've got a great structure and a great defensive play. So, but from my point of view, and obviously the team's point of view, is about what we can do and how we can exploit that. And that it'll be a tough game. I'm expecting a tough battle against some good defenders. So but I'm always confident in my ability. I'm always confident in our team and what we can produce. And we'll go there tomorrow night to try and win the game, and like I say, hopefully score a couple of goals.
Thank you, Panna. Okay, we've got time for just a couple more, starting with Alex Howell of BBC Sport.
Hi, Gareth. Does it show how important it is for players to join up with the under-21s, Emile Smith Rowe being called up and could potentially play in a World Cup qualifier? It's a similar situation to how Reece James got his debut as well.
Yes, and I think the first time Jude was with us, we called him in from the under-21 squad as well. So it's obviously an opportunity. Whenever we're here training, there are opportunities for players to transfer across. It's been unusual this week. We're one of the few, we've been the only team here for the latter part of the week. But that's what we want. We want that sort of club environment where there is a natural progression. If players are doing well, Emile was very close to being in the original squad, as we discussed when we announced it. So we had no hesitation in calling him across.
And then one for Harry, please. Does the experience of playing Hungary at Wembley last time, when it was a bit of a frustrating match, prepare you better to take on Albania tomorrow?
Yeah, well, I think whenever you have a kind of a disappointing game, or you've not kind of reached the standards that you normally reach, it kind of just wakes everyone up a little bit and makes you realise that there's still work to do, there's still more to improve on. So obviously we left that camp disappointing because we knew 3 points in that game could have really helped secure qualification. So now it's about turning it around. It's about responding to that game. Obviously we've had a great week of preparation, but it's all about performing. It's all about performing under the lights when the pressure's on. Like I've said, this team have done that before. We've done it in big situations. And tomorrow will be no different. So we're looking forward to it.
Thanks, Alex. And we'll finish with one from James Ollie, ESPN.
Hi to you both. It's one for Harry, please. I just wondered, after the end of the last tournament cycle, coming so close to winning the Euros as you did, and then with what happened at club level in the summer, did you find it difficult to sort of pick yourself up and go again, to motivate yourself to start again for England and for Tottenham?
I think it's always hard. I think whenever you finish a major tournament, obviously the last 2 major tournaments we've had, we've semi-final, we've got to a final, and it takes a lot out of you. It's not just physically, mentally as well. And then all of a sudden, before you know it, you're back playing Premier League in a few weeks. So I guess you never really have a chance to take it all in and kind of learn from what happened and see what you done well, see what you didn't. So it almost becomes a bit of a whirlwind sometimes. So it's about just adapting to that and then getting back into the swing of things as quick as possible. Like I said, from my point of view, it's always about getting back to the basics, getting back to the training pitch, working hard there, and doing my best. Obviously, we play a lot of games throughout the year. There's not much time to recover and reflect on things. So, any chance you can just get on that training pitch, work on a few things, get back to what you know best is important. And that's definitely what I've tried to do.
Was it the toughest period for you then in that context, given what happened at Tottenham as well and with that final of the Euros?
Well, I think it was tough in terms of that loss. I think losing a European final for your country at Wembley, yeah, I mean that will stay with me probably for the rest of my career. You never really get over those things unless hopefully we go and win some major tournaments. So yeah, that always stings. But I mean, yeah, I'm pretty used to it now. I'm pretty used to going back into things. Obviously, there's a lot of talk and a lot of speculation over the summer. The first real time that probably happened to me in my career, but that's part and parcel of learning. That's part and parcel of being a big player, having to deal with those situations. And I think I dealt with it well. And now it's just about focusing. There's still a long way to go, club level. And now for me, it's just about finishing these 2 games strong with England and finish off what's been a great calendar year.
Okay, thanks, James. We'll conclude it there. Thanks for joining us this afternoon.